Hey guys, what's up? How's your day going? Hope you're all doing awesome and welcome to a new video. So I was really happy to see a lot of you loved the first trading tips video and you were all pretty much begging for more. So we're going to continue this series, and the second part of this series is going to be based around key trading and how to kind of trade when you're at the key level, as most people were asking about that as the next step because I didn't cover it in the first video and I said it needed its own video, so here we are. Okay, so there are a lot of ways to profit off keys. I'm only going to talk about 3 of them in this video. If you know any more and you want to share them and help other people out, then you can put them in the comments below, or you can keep them to yourselves. I really don't mind. It's your choice. But yeah, okay, so the first way I know of is called key banking. This is basically the practice of buying keys for a lower price and selling it for a higher price, much like hat banking and scrap banking. You make a small profit with each trade you do, like you slowly build up to more keys, and trust me, it is very slow. But it is basically hat banking and scrap banking, but you've got a larger amount of metal and you have more valuable items, such as keys and stuff. It's quite a good method if you're not rushing trading and you don't want to get anywhere really quickly. You're just being patient. You're taking it slowly. You don't want to make any mistakes and stuff. This is a good method for you people, but it can take quite a lot of time to find sellers who are selling their keys for cheaper, or even people who are buying their keys for the more expensive prices that you're trying to sell them for. So this doesn't happen. This method of trading doesn't happen instantly. It is quite a long process, much like scrap banking, so you do need to be patient if you are doing this step. My opinion on this method is that it's quite boring and I don't really like to do it because I like seeing more interesting items in my backpack, and I don't really want to be seeing loads and loads of scrap and reclaimed that I've got from like random parts of the trade with metal scattered everywhere, and it's all a mess. But you know, if you sit there and you sort it out and you know what you're doing, then I guess it will be fine. But I don't really like that method. It's just my personal opinion. I mean, some people might like it, but I don't. Okay, so I'm just going to clarify now, as I didn't at the start of this video. You don't have to just do one of these methods. You can mix all of them together if you want, or you can just do one, like your favorite one, the one you enjoy doing the most, or the one that gets you the most profit the fastest if you enjoy doing that. So yeah, you can do them side by side, or you could do them on your own, or on their own. It's just personal preference, really, much like a lot of things are in trading. Okay, so now that I've got that all cleared up, let's move on to the second method of making profit with keys. Now, this is basically buying items for discounts or bulk buying or whatever. So basically what you do is you buy items worth more than what you've got, and you pay what you've got for it, but you're making the profit because it's worth a bit more. For example, say a strange degreaser is about 1.3 to 1.5 keys or something. It's quite a dodgy range, but we'll go with it. It's worth more than a key. And you find somebody selling it for a key. Now, basically, you want to take that degreaser for a key as it's discounted, and you can sell it on for anything over a key, and that would be profit for you. I mean, if you sell it for 1.5, that's awesome. You've just made half a key. And if you do that again, you've just made a key in like 4 trades or whatever it is. Or you can sell it for like barely anything over a key if you're not too bothered about making huge profits on each trade. You just want some sort of profit and getting pretty quick trades. Whatever you feel would be the easiest and quickest way to sell is the one you should go with. Or if you're not bothered, then you can just chill out and let it sell itself. Now, you don't actually have to use strange degreasers. This was just an example. There are a lot of items worth over a key that people like to sell just for a key, just because they've had it for too long or they don't really like the item anymore, and they think, oh hey, I could do more with a pure key. So take advantage of that, people discounting them, and you should be able to make some really easy profit quite quickly. Okay, so going back to the degreaser example, once you've sold it, that means you've made profit. Well, if you sell it for more than a key, obviously. If you sell it for 1.5 keys, like I said, you've just made half a key profit, which is awesome, and you can just like keep redoing this method if you really want to. So a lot of people want to know how I find deals like this. Now, the way I do it, or the way I like to do it, is You can find items with similar price ranges on the backpack.tf's price spreadsheet. There you can organize the search for like strange, unique, vintage, genuine, or whatever you want, and it basically, you can make it organize it by price. So if you do that, it will start at the most expensive. You just scroll down until you see 1.3 to 1.5 keys or something, and you see what items are there, see if you think they're going to sell well, and you can see if anybody's discounting them for a key if you just click on the item or something. One rule that I follow for myself is I stay away from Halloween items. This isn't anything against the Halloween items, it's my preference based on the experience I've had with selling these items. Halloween items don't really sell well because you can only use them in the full moon events, which aren't that often. So the only really way you can make profit off Halloween items is if they're brand new, or the Halloween hype's starting to build up and people want to make their Halloween sets before, the price of everything shoots up for Halloween. But that's the only real time I can see that you can make profit with them. Okay, so once you've found an item that you think is going to sell quite well, you just click on it and press classifieds. I think if a little bubble thing pops up, if not, it just takes you straight to the classifieds or whatever. And you can see people who are trying to buy and people who are trying to sell this item. They are labelled buy and sell, so you know which side's which, and you don't really need to keep asking questions like that, which saves you quite a bit of time. So yeah, if you see a nicely discounted item, the amount of profit you want taken off the price, then you should add them or send them a trade offer, whichever they specify, and see if they do the deal with you. And hopefully you can make profit off this item, and you can keep doing this to make even more profit. I prefer doing this method mainly because you have a lot of different cool items in your backpack, and you're not just looking at metal and keys all the time. And doing this method is quite rewarding to actually have a key in your backpack, because you think, oh, I've just bought something and I've sold it and I've made some profit with it. So that's the way I like to look at it. That's my favourite method anyway, just because you get to own pretty cool items for a bit, and you can try them out. So if you've made enough profit, later you can come back and buy them, which is pretty awesome. Also, what you can do is kind of gauge how well the items sell by looking at their buy orders. By looking at their sell orders, sorry. If a lot of people are selling them for quite low prices, below backpack.tf price, that could generally mean that they don't sell that well. And you might want to stay clear of that item until, a vote passes to make it go down or up in price. That all just depends on the item. I don't really have any examples right now of items that have done that. I can't find any, or I've not really looked for any. But if there's a lot of them selling for a lower price, then you can kind of tell that it's not going to sell it's not going to sell as well as you want it to. Also, another way to kind of tell if an item's a bit dodgy and you don't really want to buy it is if the range is really, really awkward. So the Conga used to be something like 0.95 keys to a key, and for some reason they were a real pain to sell. It's just like the 0.95 keys is a really awkward percentage of a key, I guess, but I don't know why. So if you see any quite weird ranges for the prices, I generally stay clear of those. I mean, you can see if you can make any profit with that, but it's a risk that may not be worth taking. And the third way that I know of to make profit with keys is to do stuff you've already been doing, and that is to sell the keys for metal for backpack.tf price, so you get a good price and stuff like that. And then you buy discounted items or cosmetics with the metal that you get. Technically, that's kind of just hat banking, but you're hat banking at a higher level and you have more capital to go with, and which means you could buy more hats and more items, maybe even more expensive hats and more items, and you actually make more profit by doing that, because you've got more metal to spend, which means you put more into items for discounted prices. So there's more discounted stuff that you've bought, selling for the regular price, which means you've got a lot of little profits, and they all just build up and eventually they turn into something quite big. So a good way to find deals like this, as a lot of people ask me, is to go into a trading server and just say something like, buying any discounted items, trade me. It may take a while to get trades, since a lot of people don't like the idea of discounting their stuff, because they do want normal price for it, and they want to try and make some profit. But if you're offering pure metal for items, people might be more inclined to take it just because they like the thought of having refined metal, and they can, do more with that refined metal. So they might just take a slight loss and have pure metal rather than an item, which means you can profit off this and actually get that item and give them your metal, and you get a slight discount, which is good. Also, do not try and buy discounted items with hats and miscs. It doesn't work. People won't trade you. Trust me. I've had so many people add me if I'm selling a discounted unusual or something, and they offer me their unusual that's worth my discounted price, which isn't what I wanted at all. If you're paying items, you need to overpay. It's one of the general rules of trading. So yeah, make sure you have metal if you're trying to buy discounted items. Trying to buy them with hats doesn't really work, and people don't like trading with people who are offering their discounted price in items, because if they're discounting it, they want metal. Eventually you will build up and eventually have more keys, which means you could just buy bigger items for bigger discounts. Or you could just keep going with buying the smaller items for smaller discounts if it's working for you. I mean, you can switch things up a bit and try and buy more expensive stuff for a discount as well. So it's all just really about experimenting and find what works for you in trading and the best way you have found to make profit. For me, the way to make profit is to find a method that works and stick doing that. Admittedly, the methods may get a bit boring because you're doing the same thing over and over again, but if it's working, in my eyes, it's worth it, because you might be a little bit bored, but you're making some profit off of it and eventually building up to the things you really want to get. Like I always say, trading is a patience game. It won't happen immediately, so there is some waiting involved, and that's the kind of bit that sucks and kind of deters people away from trading, because they don't really want to wait a long time to get what they want. But everybody has, or everybody's had at least one of those days where you seem to get a million trades and you all seem to be going well, and you make about 10 ref profit in a couple minutes or something crazy like that. But they don't happen all the time, and it could be just a massive coincidence with who you are, or not who you are, but who's in the server with you, and what they're trying to get at that time. So it's all like very, you have to be in the right place at the right time to get some good deals, because there's some people who are desperate to sell things, some people who are desperate to buy things, and just stuff like that. So keep server hopping as always, and be patient with trading. It does take a while, and you've seen trading series before. They last, over the span of a couple months, maybe even years, depending on what the goal is and what they're starting with. And it's all just about patience, really. So this is my basic ways to make profit with keys and increase the amount of profit you actually make in each trade. What part of trading, I need to ask you guys this, what part of trading do you want to see next? I want to cover the things you feel are most important to your trading experience, and what you want to actually see me cover, and maybe answer some questions that you don't know about a certain area of trading. So let me know in the comments what kind of, or what part of trading do you want to see next. I have a couple ideas ready, or I have a lot of ideas written down for trading tips videos, and I want to see if you guys have thought of anything that I've missed about this trading, or what to cover in trading. So if you just put your ideas in the comments, it'd be very much appreciated, and you never know, it could be the subject of the next video. Thank you all very much for watching. Sorry there has been a delay in this series. I didn't have any audio produced and ready to go before I had my tonsils removed, which I've talked about a lot in my recent videos. But that's why this series hasn't been, being produced as much as I want it to be. But now that I'm better, I'm going to start pumping videos out. I'm going to be making them as good as I can, and trying to give you as much information as I can about trading, as you guys all seem to like the series. I like helping you guys, and hopefully we can all get to unusuals one day. Those of you who say you can't do it, you can do it. I'm not going to do a Shia LaBeouf quote here, but you can do it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Tell me what you thought in the comments or what you want to see next. And if you want to see more of my content, and this is the first video you've seen from me, feel free to subscribe. I make videos a lot, kinda. I don't really have a schedule yet, but I like making videos and I try and make them very regular. So yeah, and hopefully it's good content that you like to watch. Also, if you have any trading questions you want to ask me, then you could do so either on Twitter. There will be a link in the description. That's probably the best place to message me, because it's not that busy at the moment. Not a lot of people follow me there, and it means I'm a lot more likely to see your question than in my YouTube comments, because there's quite a few of those. Or you can email me on my business email, which is spikymikeytf2@gmail.com, which is also going to be in the description. You could just email me like a question or something on there, and I'll try and write you out an answer if I have time. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye.